Hello everyone, this is Sarah and welcome to my live video chat over here on Facebook. Now just in case you don't know, every Tuesday we try to have a live video chat at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. And it's Mountain Time because I live south of Denver. And so you'll have to check your where you're located to make sure you get on at the right time. Now, if you miss it, don't worry, don't panic. I always put it over on YouTube, and then of course you can always find it on my Facebook page. Good morning, Michelle. I see you've already clinked in. Clink. I've got my Las Vegas mug today because my hubby and I made a quick trip to Las Vegas this last week for some family stuff, and it was really beautiful there. It seems like every time we go to Las Vegas, my father-in-law, sister-in-law, my niece and her husband, and I think my other niece and her husband also live there. I didn't get to see them this time, but anyway, every time we've been to Las Vegas, it is hotter than Hades, okay? I always say it's so hot you can feel the heat coming through your flip-flops but this time it was absolutely gorgeous. So if you ever go to Vegas, go in March. It's the best time to go. Hello, Lisa and Sharon. Good to see you. Clink in. Like I said, I got my Vegas cup. Well, unfortunately, I also came back with a cold and an ear infection. So I'm battling with that. So if I'm too loud, I'm so sorry. I'll try not to yell at you, but I can't hear a thing. So anyway, we got a lot of stuff to do today. I want to talk to you a little bit about chaining and how not to twist your chain and some little tricks that I do when I'm chaining long. And then I've got a big basket down here. I went to Joann's on Saturday because I had a 25% off on your entire purchase. Entire purchase, the whole thing, 25% off. And then they're also having a big yarn sale. So I got about $100 worth of yarn for about 30 bucks. And I'm going to show you what I got. And I did notice that they are having another sale. I want to say it's 30% off all yarn, but I can't remember. You're going to have to look. And then of course Hobby Lobby is having another 30% off. So if you like the Hobby Lobby yarn. The thing about Hobby Lobby is they have so much of their own yarn, and they don't have, like, you know, I Love Red Heart and some of the other yarns. I can't find those there. And sometimes I can find them at Michael's. And right here where I live in Parker, we have a Hobby Lobby and a Michael's. And I have to go about, 20 minutes actually only to go to Joann's. So I'm pretty spoiled with the places I can get yarn. Let's see, who else popped in? Leslie, Lori, Tammy. Lori, you popped in twice. She's from Idaho. Clink in. Like I said, I got my Vegas cup. All right, so let's get right into our question. I'm going to go ahead and click down over to the other cam. And you'll notice I've got a chain already made there. And so let me talk to you a little bit about a couple of questions that I got about chaining. Let me pop that off of there. I'm going to take the chain out. Here's my slip knot. And I'm going to chain about 10 chains. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, one of the questions I got is, when we begin stitching in the second, third, or fourth chain from the hook, do we count the loop that's on our hook? And no, we do not. Your first chain is this one that's right next to the hook. You don't count the loop that's on your hook. So if your pattern says begin stitching in the second chain from the hook, here's your first chain, and this is your second chain right here. And that's where you'd begin your first stitch, stitch a single crochet. All right, I didn't even think about that question, and I got it a couple of times the last couple weeks. And so do not count the loop that's on your hook. You're going to begin counting. This is your first chain, and of course this one I stretched out a little because I went in. Okay, another thing they asked is, how in the world can you keep from twisting your chain when you have to do a long chain? And what I do is that once I get chaining and the chain is getting long, I take it and I make sure it's nice and flat, and then I hook the end of that chain on the bottom of my hook. Put that through there. There we go. And this will keep your chain from twisting. You may have to pull that up to keep your chaining going. But this will keep that chain from twisting if you have to make a long chain. It's right there. And then all you do is pull it off and begin stitching. All right, so just hook the end of that chain on the bottom of your hook, and it'll keep it nice and flat and keep it from twisting when it comes time to join or begin stitching. Okay, so another question was, when you're stitching a long chain, how do you keep track of your chains? So what I do is I use stitch markers, and I'll chain up about 20, and then I'll just stick the stitch marker in that chain. That one doesn't want to hook. And then I'll chain another 20, or depending on how long. If I'm going to chain about 100, I'll do it about every 20. Then I don't have to recount those 20 chains. They're already counted. All right, so just to repeat, to keep your chain from twisting, put the end of your chain on the end of your hook, and that will keep your chain flat. Then you can chain as many as you need and put your stitch marker in. Chain 10, chain 20, and that will keep you from having to repeat counting those stitches. And then the last thing that we talked about, or the first thing, get that out of there, is when you're counting your stitches, you do not count the loop that's on your hook. You begin by, here's your first single or your first chain, here's your second chain, depending on what the pattern says, you know, whether you're going to count 3 or 2 or 1 or whatever, you do not count the loop that's on your hook. Here's your first, here's your second, there's your single crochet. And that's just to answer those quick questions about chaining and how to keep your chain from twisting. All right, I'm going to pop back up to the top cam. Here I am, I'm back, and I want to talk to you about my wonderful sale that I got at Michael's. And again, I want to apologize if I'm sniffing, sneezing, or coughing because I have this silly ear infection. Anyway, so I got this big basket. I just said Michael's, didn't I? I didn't go to Michael's. I went to Joann's. Okay, I've got this big basket. And there's a couple of brand new Red Heart yarns I want to show you, and then some other things. Now, we know that Red Heart makes a scrubby yarn, right? It's the scrubby yarn with the scrubbies on it. Well, they've come out with a brand new, it's called Scrubby Smoothie. And a lot of their yarns that are the scrubby yarns work best when you combine them with a cotton yarn. And so these are yarns that match the scrubby yarns that they already have out there. So I got a couple of those. I'll just toss those on the ground. Another new Red Heart yarn is called the Super Saver Fair Isle. And Fair Isle, if you've ever seen a knit hat that has like little stripes and then little doodads that go in a pattern, and that's what the idea of the Fair Isle is. Now, you won't get a exact like bunny or lamb or something like that, but you will get a nice pattern, and you can see in the yarn some of them are dots, some of them are stripes. And I bought 3 of these. I got this one that I have plans for, and then I got these 2. This one is called Parrot, and these 2 are called Tailwind, it looks like. I got it upside down. Calm Fair Isle. Looks like the ocean in blues, doesn't it? Okay. And I'm real excited to try those out, and I'll let you know how they work, and I'm sure I'll have new patterns for those. Now, we know that also that Red Heart has a whole bunch of new striping yarns, and I found 2 that I had never seen before. This one's called Derby Stripe, and you can see all those big thick stripes in there. Isn't that pretty? And then this one is called Preppy Stripe, and I really like this one. Look at those bright colors in that one. And those were 2 that I had never seen before because Michael's didn't have them, and my Walmart doesn't carry them either. And of course, Hobby Lobby doesn't carry hardly any Red Heart anymore. And then I found this one, and this one I've got like the pink, the blue, the teal, but I had never seen this peach one. It's just called Sea Coral, and this is the Red Heart Ombre. And I really love this one. I'm very excited about getting this, and I've got plans for this one also. I always buy yarn with plans in mind. Okay, so another thing they had on sale were some of their sweet rolls. And the sweet roll is like this, and this one's Premier. And they had these 3 for $9.99. Now, these are usually $5.99 at Hobby Lobby, and I've seen them on sale, not Hobby Lobby, Michael's. And I've seen them on sale as much as $3.99. Well, they had 3 for $9.99, and I bought 2 of this color. This is, okay, they're hiding the color on me somewhere. Let's see. No, I can't see it. Anyway, and then I bought another one in another color, and I actually bought a yellow and green one also. And the neat thing about this is this was $9.99, but I had the coupon on my phone for 25% off your entire purchase. And one neat thing about Joann's is they have a buku of yarn, and they have every kind of yarn you can think of. I'm married to a wonderful man because he does not mind yarn shopping with me, and he knows what I'm looking for, and he knows what I like. And when he sees a color or a shade or a brand or something, he'll say, "What about this?" And it's always right on. So I'm really blessed in that manner, because a lot of women, their husbands don't like to go shopping with them in the yarn store. We kind of have this deal. I'll go with him in Best Buy if he'll go in with me into Joann's. And I don't mind going into Best Buy, and he doesn't mind going into Joann's to go yarn shopping. He's such a good man. I have had orders before that I couldn't get away from the house, and I'll just write down what I'm looking for on a piece of paper. He'll run over to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and he'll get it for me. He's not embarrassed to buy yarn from me. So anyway, that's the brand new yarns that I found this week. And let me tell you, get online and get those apps. There's Michael's, there's Hobby Lobby, and there's Joann's. I know some of the other ones. I don't have a AC Moore here or some of the other craft stores, but those are the 3 craft stores that I frequent, and I get their online coupons. When you get the 40% off at Hobby Lobby, you can only use it once a day. And I live close enough that if I know that I need a couple of things, I'll get one day, and then the next day when I'm out, I'll get the other one. Use those 40% off coupons. Same thing with Michael's. And Joann's is really good about taking other stores' coupons. My Joann's is. I have used all 3 of the Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and Joann coupons at Joann's. And all that yarn would have cost me about $100 if I bought it full price. And it ended up being, I think my receipt said $30.45. So, I mean, that is fantastic. How you see the cupcake yarn yet? They attach a pom-pom on. Yes, I have some of those back here. The cupcake yarn. My Michael's has these, and they had them on sale for $3.99, and I bought 4 of them. And I have plans for, I bought these probably right after Christmas, and I have plans to make them for my grandkids, and I haven't done it yet. I bought 4, because I always like to get one to practice to see what style I want to do, and then make them for my grandkids. So yes, Michael's has them, and Joann's has them also. I'm telling you, if you can't find a yarn, go to Joann's. Because as much as I love Hobby Lobby, they pretty much have their own brands of yarns. Yarn Bee, and I love this yarn. I think they have a Style Craft or something. Those are all Hobby Lobby brand yarns. And Michael's is starting to do the same thing and to have their own brand yarns. Joann's has their own brand yarn, the Twist, but they also carry a ton of other yarns, okay? So if you're a yarn addict like me, I hope you can get to a Joann's. All right, so let's talk about the new stuff this week as far as crochet patterns. I had a little fun because, you know, this month this month is National Crochet Month. And so I made some fun little coasters. These are coasters that look like what? Yarn. And I think they're fun because you can put your coffee or your cup of tea or whatever up here. You can put a needle or have a spot to just throw your hook through. If you're like me, as soon as the commercial hits, I'm running to the potty. I don't want to lose my crochet hook, and instead of sticking it in here or back here, you can just stick it right through there, and you've got it right there. And I have been known to stick them here and leave the house, and that's not good. All right, so that's one thing we did this week. That is a free crochet pattern and a video. The other thing is, after I made that coaster, I had a couple of people say, can I make that into a stuffy? And I said, absolutely. So what you do is I made some, this is the one I made with a number 5. This one's made with a number 6 of the blanket yarn. And it's that soft, like Burnett blanket yarn. And you can use any number 5 or number 6 chunky. And what you do is you use the pattern for this, and you make 2 of them, put them together, and stuff them. I have a blog out there about how to do it. And they're so much fun, and they're so squishy. So anyway, that is something else we did this week. And the other thing we did is this scarf that's right here behind me. It's called the Lucky Rainbow Scarf. Cowl. It's actually a cowl, not a scarf. And we did that to use some of the Red Heart Rainbow Stripe. It's called My Favorite Stripe, I think, or Favorite Stripe by Red Heart. Super Saver. And then I just added that little clover back there on the top. You can do it in any of the stripes. You don't have to do the rainbow. You don't have to add the clover. It's just a little extra. It's all the clover and the cows on the blog, and also on YouTube. So let me grab a quick drink of my coffee here. Throat's getting dry. So anyway, that's what we got going on this week at Push Push Designs. A lot of fun stuff. I also have some fun stuff. I didn't do a video yesterday. Like I said, I'm having a little trouble with my ears, and my right ear, I think I have ear infection. It was just crazy hurting. So I got up this morning, and it's still bugging me a little bit. It's more of an annoyance than anything else, because it keeps me from doing what I want to do. So anyway, we do have some fun stuff coming. Some new patterns and some redone patterns. I told you, you know, when we first started doing YouTube, some of our beginning videos, you know, they're not that great. And so I've been redoing some of them with some new yarns and some new techniques and adding some little extras to them. So we've got some of that coming up, and a couple of Easter and spring type things I think you're really going to enjoy and like. So anyway, I just want to thank everyone for popping in. I hope you clinked in. Clink. And just thank you to everyone. And like I always say, I can't do this without you. And so I so appreciate you popping in and watching my live videos, and popping in and watching my YouTube videos. And just do me a favor. Pop over to YouTube and click that subscribe button, and then hit that little bell, because the little bell lets YouTube know that you want to see when I put out a new video. And so you don't want to miss out on that. And I'm real excited. I'm almost at 19,000 subscribers. And when I get to 20,000, we are going to have a celebration, because it's been so much fun. This last year and a half, I have learned so much, so much, and how to do so many things technically, you know, because when we set up this new studio, you know, I've got like 4 lights, I've got 2 screens, I've got 3 cameras, you know, I'm learning how to do all this stuff and setting up everything, because I am not technically smart. I'm not. I can crochet, but all this technical stuff, I couldn't do it without my husband. He's so smart, and he did a lot of investigating to try to, and he's always in here tweaking the lights and the sound, and he writes all the music for my videos also. He is a super talented musician, and he not only writes it, but a lot of it he performs. You know, I told you a story about how we were doing the Christmas one, and I wanted bells, and so he's in there shaking his, it's bells on a long thing, and he's in there shaking his bells, trying to get it to the beat of the music that he wrote. So it was a lot of fun. Anyway, so I'm going to let you go. That's all I've got for you today. And I hope you'll remember to use those coupons. You can save yourself a lot of money with those coupons. Everyone have a great week, and be looking for those new videos. See you next week.